I'm going to attempt to animate one of the best scenes in all of anime history, the Choso vs Itadori bathroom fight scene from Jujutsu Kaisen. However, I'm going to be recreating it in Lego using Blender. In order to accomplish this, there are 3 things we need to do. First off, we need to get a 3D model of both Choso and Yuji. For this, I'm going to be using the website Mecabricks, which I've used in previous videos. Second off, we need to rig the models for Choso and Yuji in order to animate them using the Epic Fig Rig add-on. Finally, we need to make this scene using this bathroom model I found on Mecabricks and then animate everything together. To start, I went onto Mecabricks and found this model of Yuji, which will work splendidly for this animation. However, when I went to search for a model of Choso, nothing showed up, so I decided to make my own based on this fan-made model I found on the internet. After I completed the model of Choso, I used the Epic Fig Rig add-on to make him a rig for the scene, and then I did the same for Yuji right after. The next step was to set up the scene using the bathroom model and get the lighting as close as possible to the anime. All I really needed was 2 point lights, red and blue. However, while I was setting up the lighting and camera, I realized I was going to need rain and fog. So I followed a tutorial on how to make really simple rain, and it came out about as good as I needed it to. Then for the fog, I just made a box and used the simple shader setup. Now we're basically all ready to start on the final animation.
You hear the hate, you got to go. You can find me on the floor. Get out the way, don't block the show. Tonight we dance the night away. Tonight we dance the night away, baby. Tonight we dance the night away like we ain't trying to be lonely. Tonight we dance the night away. Tonight we dance the night away, baby. Tonight we dance the night away like we ain't trying to be lonely. Tonight we dance the night away.
About halfway through animating the first couple of shots, I noticed there was a ton of 2D effects I could add with grease pencil. The water splashing, the impacts, all of that type of stuff. So I decided to make a grease pencil object and place it right in front of the camera to start animating. The most challenging part to animate was this grate that Yuji kicks up with one of his punches and launches at Choso. I had to mess a lot with the physics and how big and small it actually was. The part where the grate flies through the camera does not make sense at all. If you look at it in the viewport, it's a bit cooked, I'm not gonna lie. But after many hours of animating, I finally finished the base animation. Now here's a couple of things I like to add to make it feel a bit more like the Lego movies. Number 1, stepped choppy animation. To do this, I use the Stop-ify add-on, but if you don't want to spend the $2, you can just select every frame, go to Pose, Animation, then Bake Ontos. Then select everything and choose Constant Interpolation. This basically makes it so there's no interpolation in between each frame and just goes from frame to frame. Number 2, motion blur. This one's optional, sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. It looks good on some renders, but sometimes it just looks a little bit weird. Number 3, smear frames. This is basically a better version of what motion blur does. You can add them in any way you want to. Grease pencil, duplicating parts, stretching models using built-in modifiers, or using an add-on like auto smear. Using smear frames is what movies like the Lego movie and the Lego Batman movie used instead of traditional motion blur, so it's a little bit more authentic to the movies using this method. Finally, we add the original sound back from the anime and we have our completed animation.